That's a wrap from pre-season testing. The fans in the grandstand, they've had a great time watching the cars up close. But they've been thinking, what's the order going to be by the time we get to Melbourne? Well, we're going to do the dangerous thing and try and make a few predictions. So I'll start from the back and work to the front. And sadly, at the back, I still think it's going to be Williams. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that they've had a really good test. And actually, being the first car out on track was a lot of progress from last year. Both George Russell and Nicholas Latifi have set better lap times than last time. In fact, they've graced the top 5 at times at various moments through the test. They had so much work to do, and I think if they're realistic, catching right up to the midfield was always going to be a tough ask. But I think they might get closer and hopefully get amongst it sometimes. And my special prediction here is that George Russell's going to score not just one, but he's going to score multiple points this year. Moving forward, I think we're going to have a trio of the two Ferrari-powered customer teams, Haas and Alfa Romeo, alongside the other Alfa Tauri, the new Toro Rosso. Difficult to judge. The midfield's always so close, and this is where it could be very wrong. It could be very wrong all the way through, to be honest. It's pre-season testing. But they just seem to be a shade behind the other two midfielders, which is Renault and McLaren, and they seem to have picked up a little bit. Bigger design differences from last year. They both adopted a narrow nose. It looked good. And Ricciardo certainly set really promising lap times on the last day. Esteban Ocon as well. And McLaren, a lot of positives coming from there as well. I think they're all going to be chasing Racing Point heading into the start of the season at least. Racing Point, very similar design to last year's Mercedes. Much talked about that. It's within the rules, so why not? And it's given them a very quick car. My next big prediction is going to be Sergio Peres for a podium, at least this season. To be honest, it could be more. The car looks really quick. Perez is the man for an outside shot at a podium. So many times he's ended up on the podium, be it in a Sauber or a Force India before. And I think with the car they've got now, I think that's going to be the surprise package. Then we get to the front. I still think it's the three big teams out front, but I think in third place, it's probably going to be Ferrari. Much has been said about whether they're sandbagging. They've been playing down their own expectations a great deal. But there's been hints of a bit more underlying pace. Their long run on the last day with Charles Leclerc was really, really promising. And some people have been real doom-mongers and said they're going to be with Racing Point and maybe even the likes of Renault. I don't think that's the case. I think they're still well clear and in the race at the front. But I do think they're behind both Red Bull and Mercedes. Second place, I think, will be Red Bull. They look like they've had encouraging moments, but they've looked like they've got a car also that can be quite erratic to drive. A number of spins caused by quick, snappy oversteer in the mid-corner has caught out both drivers throughout the test. Max Verstappen looked really quick and almost topped the final day, but ultimately didn't, and I think that's how his season's going to be. I think it's going to be very, very close, but I don't think they're going to be able to topple the mighty Mercedes. They've come out with a new iteration of the car. The rules didn't change all that much, but still Mercedes bought DAS. They bought a new rear suspension design, and I think they're going to be the class of the field. If you take the second week, it's going to be very, very close. But I think the key point for Mercedes was what they actually did in week 1. They were really quick. Valtteri Bottas set the outright fastest lap of testing in week 1. Normally, you'd go quicker in week 2. The track rubber's in, the drivers get more familiar, the teams get more familiar with the setup of the car as well, and you bring go faster bits. The fact they actually got slower in week 2 says to me they were holding back. Was that because of the engine? That's going to be the Achilles heel that the other rival teams are going to be hoping can hold them back. A few power unit issues for Mercedes could play into the hands of Ferrari and Red Bull, but overall I still think Mercedes will be the strongest over the season. Therefore, I think it's going to be that man Lewis Hamilton claiming title number 7 when we get to Abu Dhabi in November. That's pre-season testing though. This time last year, many people got it very wrong, so that could be the case again now. And my final prediction is going to be my really bold one. So I'm going to put it in this envelope and we'll see at the end of the season. And there we go. Signed, sealed, delivered.